If you are facing difficulty in IELTS reading module and you believe you are not going to score really good band in your reading test, this video is for you, because in this video, I'm going to tell you that how you can score 8 band, 9 band in your reading module and what practice you require. It's not that difficult. The thing is, you have to understand what is the way to prepare yourself for band A to band 9. What are the things that you have to do, the activities, the assignments, the practice, how to do those things. I'm going to discuss all these things in this video. So to take us down with the number one tip, that is read regularly. Just like Allah says in Quran that human being learn through the environment, I would suggest you to start creating a reading environment around you. You should start reading all the time. At least, let's suppose if you are going to appear in your exam after 2 months, just take it as a challenge that every single thing that you will read, that should be in English. Instead, just force yourself that you have to build this reading habit by reading 5 minutes in a day in the beginning. And after that, you will take it to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and even to 1 hour. 1 hour of reading every day. It could be any content. You can read out funny stories, newspaper. If you have interest in engineering, read out a book related to that. If you have interest in self-improvement, read out books related to that. Whatever you want to read, just simply start reading. Have books around you all the time. Try to spend more time with the reading and you will get habitual to read. What's the purpose? Number one thing. By reading more, you are going to build your reading speed. And if you have good reading speed, I assure you, you can easily solve the IELTS reading test. When we start something, when we start doing something, or even when we visit a new place for the first time, we just look around a lot and we observe a lot and we don't even know the way. But when we keep going to the same location again and again, we find it out, okay, it's easy. I know the thing. I can go directly to my destination. Same as in the reading. When we start reading, we get stuck at a lot of spaces. When you will start reading out on daily basis, you will build up your speed at how to get the meaning directly, how to reach to the meaning destination directly, instead of just confusing yourself, taking a lot of pressure of the difficult words and everything. Don't do that. Just simply start reading every day any content. Yes, that is not enough. We have to do the IELTS practice, but in the beginning, just simply start with the reading. Once there was a student who even claimed that, sir, I cannot have my interest in the reading. In reading is the most boring thing that I can do. I suggested him to go to a bookshop. Select a book for you, a book that no one has recommended you. Spend 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours in the bookshop. Select one book. I gave him this challenge. After 3 hours, he selected one book that was for the self-improvement. And I said, now it's the book that you fancy yourself. You have selected it yourself. You have to complete this book. He completed that book within 5 days. Now, how is that possible? How can a person complete a book who is not the reader earlier? How can he complete the book in 5 days? Just because the content was of his own interest. Same as you can do the same thing for yourself. Once get comfortable, get smooth with the reading. After that, we can talk about this thing, that how to solve the reading test, because there are two things. Number one, reading. Number two, test. Get comfortable with the reading, and I'm going to tell you more tips that will help you to get good band in the test. Number two tip is, you have to understand that in IELTS reading test, when you start practicing the IELTS material, IELTS content, there are 13 and 14 categories of the question. 13 categories for the general, 14 categories for the academic one. There are 14 to 13 categories of the question. Every single question requires the different skills. I am going to make further videos for you for every single category of the question separately, so that you would learn it deeply and you will understand it and you would be able to solve it better. But for now, remember one thing. The way you can solve your MCQs, you cannot solve your fill in the blank or diagram completion with the same technique. You require different techniques and you require different understanding of the question. For instance, for few of the question, answers always come in the sequence. And for few of the questions, answers do not come in the sequence. For few of the question, you need to understand the general perspective of the paragraph or the passage. And few of the question, you require the specific information from the paragraph. You would be able to solve your reading test in a better way if you understand the every single category of the question and what are the tips, skills, techniques required to solve this specified question. Number 3, you have to improve your vocabulary. Now, vocabulary, just as in the video yesterday, I was saying it, we really get afraid of the difficult vocabulary word. We get the pressure through that. When you are in the practice mode, remember, difficult vocabulary words are not a problem, are not the monster, are not there to create a pressure, are not there to puzzle you, to baffle you. Those difficult vocabulary words are there as an opportunity. This is the time when you are reading, when you are learning, when you are practicing. You are not in the real-time exam. So during the practice, don't get afraid of these vocabulary words, difficult vocabulary words. Instead, take it like a blessing. If you find a difficult word, underline it, go to Google, find out the meaning, try to write it down. I mean, in the notebook or wherever from in the question paper or the passage directly, and then read out the sentence once again. Now understand it. You have learned one new vocabulary word today. By doing so, you will keep improving, keep building your vocabulary, and you will keep adding new words every day into your vocabulary bucket. Difficult vocabulary words during the practice are not a problem. In fact, are the solution for the problems that you are going to face in your real-time exam. So in the preparation mode, just simply find out those vocabulary words which are new for you, or even for the words for which you even have some confusion for the meaning, that what should be the meaning, what could be the meaning. Do I really know the exact meaning? Am I applying the exact meaning to this sentence? If you have a doubt, go to Google, use the dictionary, find out the meaning and apply it into your reading. You will find it out that now you have built your vocabulary quite easily, and those difficult words are minimizing every day. And I also suggest my student that for the new words, make your own self-created dictionary. Once you will start creating your dictionary, you will find it out that there are not more than 100 those difficult vocabulary words which were creating a pressure for you. So even if during the practice, if you learn 100 words only, what's the big deal? This is a blessing. Difficult vocabulary words are the solution, not a problem for you. Number 4, you have to build your strong grammatical structure. You know that in reading, they are going to use compound sentences, complex sentences. There would be a lot of vocabulary words there. There would be a lot of the combination of the sentences, transitional words would be used there, conjunctions would be used there, subordinate clauses would be there. If you have good grammar, only then you would be able to understand all these things easily. Read more, just like in the tip number 1, read more, get comfortable with the reading. Only then you will build your strong grammatical knowledge. Number 5, it's for every module. I say it again, I say it almost in every video, that don't take the instructions for granted. Everything they are saying in the question, every single requirement they mention over there in the question, don't just simply take that for granted. Follow instructions carefully. You have to follow that. You have to obey those instructions. Only then you can get good band. Number 6, time management. Just as I was mentioning yesterday, that when you are practicing, always keep your stopwatch there. Never spend more than 1 hour to solve one reading test. If you're spending more time, more than 1 hour, every practice that you're making is going in vain. If you want to get the good result, the point is you should give the answer of all the 40 questions within that given time frame, and you should be able to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Time management requires more and more practice. Time management requires your speed in your reading skill. Just as number 1 tip, try to read more. Just start reading any content on daily basis. Practice your one reading test on daily basis. Build your reading skill. Only then you would be able to manage your time wisely and understand the question type, follow the instructions for that question type, apply those techniques, and then solve it. It requires a lot of effort and practice. Number 7, you have to answer all the questions. The best part is that in IELTS, there is no negative marking. Writing down even a wrong answer, a fluke there, acceptable. At least you're not going to get a negative mark over there. So just never ever leave one answer blank there. If out of your understanding, whatever you feel like should be the answer, write it down there. Number 8, that I always claim in the reading module: do not try to understand every single thing thoroughly. You do not need to understand every word, every sentence, every paragraph, and the whole passage. That would be the waste of time and a useless thing to do in your IELTS reading test. All you need to do is to read out the question first, understand the question, and then go to the passage and try to locate the information required to answer the question only. My next tip is you need to know your weaknesses. When you do your reading, always make a statistical report. I have told you already how to make a statistical report. Let me tell you once again. Statistical report means how many mistakes are there in passage 1, how many mistakes are there in passage 2, and in passage 3. Where did you make the most of your mistakes? If you have made most of your mistakes in section 3, in passage 3, that's your area of work where you need to find out instruction, where you have to do more of the practice. Find the weaknesses and then work on those. Same as for the categories of the question. If you find that the most of the mistakes are for fill in the blanks, or might be you have made 9 mistakes out of 10 questions, 9 mistakes in every category, but in MCQs there are let's suppose 13 mistakes in one test, or in 2 tests, or in 3 tests. If you have made most of your mistakes in the MCQs, then MCQs should be your target. Try to watch more videos related to MCQs. Try to ask your IELTS instructor more about the MCQ steps. Solve it more, practice it more, get comfortable with giving the correct answer in your MCQs question, or whatever is the type of the question that you find difficult. Number 10, do not overthink for an answer. If you are not able to find out the answer of one question, all right, move on to the next question. You can spare time at the end and you can jump back to the question that you left unanswered. You can do that. And one more thing, even one wrong answer, one empty answer will not create a very big impact on your band. 39 out of 40 also means you're band 9. So one question which is destroying all other answers, all other correct answers that you can give, and you could not do it just because you spent a lot of time on one question, and now the time which is left for the other question is not enough to answer the question. You have left your questions unanswered. Not a good strategy. Never spend more than 1.5 or 2 minutes on one question. Last but not the least, remember, for IELTS, you are going to spend a huge amount for the body, for the exam. These videos are really good. These videos are giving you instruction, general tips. But if you want to work on the customized thing, if you want to know your weaknesses, if you want to get feedback on your writing, your reading, your speaking, your listening, what sort of mistakes you are making, you have to find out one expert. Preparing for the IELTS reading without an expert, I would suggest you not a good thing to do. Always find out your instructor, always find out one IELTS trainer, IELTS expert, get the training and get the good band. Well, thank you so very much for watching this video. I hope you find this video helpful for you. Once again, see you in the next video. Take care, stay blessed. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz.